Before we begin our practice today, I want to share a story. It comes from the early Buddhist tradition, and it points right to the heart of what we'll be exploring, not in theory, but in direct practice, direct experience here and now. One day a monk asked the Buddha, "How did you cross the flood?" Now, by flood, he wasn't speaking of water. He meant the flood of life, this great river of constant change, of gain, of loss, of praise and blame, of joy and sorrow. The flood of our hopes and fears, and above all, the flood of our reactions to those experiences. "How did you cross it?" the monk asked. "How did you find freedom right in the midst of all of this?" And the Buddha replied, "I crossed the flood not by pushing forward, not by staying still." The monk was confused, but then, "How did you cross?" And the Buddha replied, "When I pushed forward, I was swept away. When I stayed still, I sank. Without pushing forward, without staying still, I crossed over." This teaching is so simple, and yet also so profound. When we meet our experience with striving, pushing forward, trying to control, to fix, we're swept up by the experience, by our reaction to the experience. When we meet our experience with grasping or with resistance, trying to hold on or to make it stop, we sink beneath it. But there's another way, a way of meeting experience directly, openly, neither forcing nor resisting. And when we practice this way of relating to what is here, moment by moment, we begin to taste of freedom, not in the future, but right now, in our experience, a lessening of suffering, not as a future goal, right now. Because the way that we relate to what we're experiencing in this moment shapes what we are experiencing in the moment. And this isn't abstract, it's immediate. Every moment of this practice is a chance to turn the mind and heart toward less suffering, to meet life in a way that's more easeful, more open, more free. And this is the essence of what we call equanimity. In Pali, it's upekkha. Now, let's begin by simply arriving. Take a moment to settle where you are. Feel your body. Feel your breath. Notice the space around you. In our lives, and in this very practice, in this moment, we're always shaping what comes next by how we relate to what is here now. And one of the qualities that most supports this shift, this real-time lessening of dukkha, is a quality we sometimes overlook: equanimity. Now, equanimity can sound a little austere. Some hear it and think it means indifference, but that's a misunderstanding. Equanimity isn't coldness. It's not detachment. Equanimity is an openness, a deeply rooted, flexible, resilient way of being with our experience. It allows us to meet life, this moment, our experience in this moment, with a whole heart, moment by moment, and in doing so, it transforms our experience in real time. In daily life, most of us are caught in the same habit loops again and again and again. When something pleasant arises, we grasp at it. When something unpleasant arises, we resist, sometimes even fight it. When something neutral arises, we tend to overlook it altogether, grasping, rejecting, ignoring. Each of these is a form of reactivity, and each one conditions the next moment toward more stress, more dukkha, more contraction, more dis-ease. Equanimity offers another way. It's the capacity to allow experience to arise and to pass without being buffered or buffeted by it, without being caught within it, without needing to pull it in, push it away, or look past it. It's like holding life in an open palm, not squeezing, not clutching, not turning away. And when we do this right now, we feel the difference in the body, in the heart, in the mind. Less tension, less struggle, more ease. This is practicing insight, not later, right now. Now, this doesn't mean that we stop caring. In fact, practicing equanimity allows us to care more, allows caring to deepen and become more wise. It allows compassion to be boundless because we're no longer overwhelmed by another's pain or by our own. It allows love to be unconditional because we're not grasping at how it should feel. And it allows joy to expand because we're not afraid of its passing. All of this begins in how we relate to each moment. The Buddha's image of crossing the flood speaks to this perfectly. If we push forward, trying to force life, we get spun out. If we cling, trying to hold on, we sink. But when we meet each moment, without pushing or clinging, a different possibility emerges. A movement of letting be, of flowing with life, of being one with life, of relating to what is here right now in a way that conditions more freedom in the very next moment. This is the essence of equanimity. And it's something we can practice here and now. We begin by noticing how we're paying attention. Just take a moment and be curious. How are we paying attention? Most of us habitually narrow in. We contract around a sense object, a sound, a thought, a feeling, a bodily sensation. But instead of using our attention like a microscope, we can open it up, open it out. Some call it think of it like a big sky mind. Just letting sounds arrive. Letting bodily sensations be felt. Letting thoughts come and go. And all the while resting in an atmosphere of openness. And as we do this now, the next moment is already being shaped toward more ease, greater inner peace, contentment, satisfaction, fulfillment. But we can also apply the same spaciousness to life's larger movements. Growing old, becoming sick, loss, and death. These larger movements, they're not avoidable. They are an intrinsic part of being alive. Now, we can resist them. We can accept them with reluctance, or we can meet them with equanimity, an open, fearless heart. As one reflection goes, breathing gently, I lovingly remember that separation is a part of life. I am of the nature to experience loss. Breathing gently, I lovingly remember to meet this moment with wisdom and care. Even our thinking can be held in this way. When a thought arises, simply note, a thought has arisen. Not my thought, not I should be thinking, nor what does this mean. Just a thought has occurred. And then ask, is this a thought that leads toward freedom? Or is this a thought that leads toward entanglement? And if it leads us toward entanglement, grasping, rejection, harm, can it be gently released? Right now, this moment, the mind can incline toward greater freedom. Over time, as we cultivate equanimity, both what we experience and who we take ourselves to be becomes lighter, less solid, less grasped. And in that lightness, a deeper well-being emerges, one not dependent on conditions, being in a certain way. A freedom that is always available here and now in this very moment of meeting experience. So as we move into and deeper into this meditation, I invite you to explore this atmosphere of equanimity. You don't need to force it. You don't need to get it right. Simply rest in an openness, not pushing forward, not staying still, letting sounds rise, letting sensations be felt, letting thoughts come and go, and seeing for yourself moment by moment how this way of relating can ease or lessen suffering here and now with an open palm. Just allow the day to fall away. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. This is a simple time. A time to be with your own experience. First, coming into the whole body, feeling the whole body as a field of sensation. Allow the breath to be easy. No need to change it. Just allow the breath to breathe itself and simply be aware of the body breathing. Now, without narrowing or tensing, open your awareness to include sounds. Let the sounds come to you. No need to seek them out. Just as the breath arises and passes, so do sounds. Notice the space in which sounds arise. Notice the silence in between sounds. The invitation is to be open, receptive, letting things arise and pass in their own time. When something is experienced as pleasant, can we appreciate it without grasping or snatching at it? When something is experienced as unpleasant, can we meet it with care without rejecting it, not pushing away, not fighting it? And when an experience is neutral, can we simply allow it to be there and not seek some other more agitating experience? This is equanimity in action. Now, very gently, we'll bring the same quality of our attention to the six senses. Start with the tactile sense, the whole field of the body. Feel the sensations, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Can you allow them in? Let them be. Be aware when they go. No fixing, no changing. Just a light welcoming. Now, open again to the sense of hearing. Let the field of sound be wide. The most distant sounds, the closest sounds, and the silence in between. Just notice and be curious if attention narrows or contracts. If so, invite in a softening, an opening. Allow sounds to come to you. Now, can you notice thoughts as they arise? You don't need to stop them. Simply see them. A thought has arisen. And be curious. Is this thought one that leads to freedom, a lessening of suffering, or is it a thought that leads to an entanglement? If it's entangling, can you gently release it? Actually, if it's entangling, all you need to do is see that entangling, and in time that thought will gently release you. So let go of the demand in the thought and just return to this open, receptive awareness. And now remember, we are of the nature to age, to sicken, to lose what is dear, to meet what's undear, to die. Breathing gently, lovingly remembering that separation is part of life. Breathing gently, meeting this moment with wisdom and care. Now resting again in simple presence, feeling the body as a field of sensation, hearing as a field of sound. Thoughts may come, let them come, let them go. Returning to dwell in this openness, rooted, flexible, resilient, wholeheartedly here. Not pushing forward, not staying still, simply present. Now, as we move toward closing, notice how the heart feels in this space. Notice how the body feels. Allow gratitude to arise naturally if it does. Or simply rest in the simplicity of being. When you're ready, gently deepen and lengthen the breath a little. Perhaps wiggle the fingers and toes. And when you're ready, gently opening the eyes. Take a moment to sense how you are now. And then carrying this spacious, rooted presence into the next moments of your day. Thanks again for your practice. Have a beautiful day.